Hey you guys, happy Wednesday, and my name is Ninfa Lear, and like I always say, you could always make more money, but you can't make more time, so I'm truly blessed to have you either on the replay or watching this live. Post below, are you watching a replay or watching it live? And say hello to me, all right? So I wanted to chit chat with you because today, hey Melissa, how are you, girl? I want to talk to you guys about finances because as most of you guys know, and if you don't know, I am in my debt-free journey where I'm getting out of debt and I'm doing all this learning and I'm doing all these things. And so I'm always going to be teaching you things that I am actually doing. So and never for a second think I'm not doing it. All right. So in this case, we're going to talk about just getting started with getting out of debt. So your number one thing for you to do is what? Stop borrowing. No payday loans, no credit cards, no small loans, no nothing, no borrowing from your friends and family, nothing. To get out of a hole, you can't keep digging in. The worst thing to do when you don't have a job or you're in debt or you're in financial stress is to get more loans and debt out. It just makes the situation so much more magnified. So just stop it. You're better off feeling the pain in the moment with not adding extra onto it. So that's number one. Number two, budget. We got a budget. And this is kind of the things you need to have on here on your budget. The first thing you should have on there is giving of some kind. It doesn't have to be the 10%. It could be $5 every check. But you want to give because the thing about it is what you realize when you give, it makes you feel good, right? But more importantly, you realize how fast you need to get out of debt so you can do more wonderful things with your money, right? God has given you all of this cash and we're just blowing it. And honey, I'm there. I understand it. I'm like, man, I make so much money and I can't pay out such and such. This is ridiculous. Or I can't give to whatever I want to give to. This is ridiculous. So make sure you're doing a giving. That should be the first line on your budget. You don't want to put it at the bottom because then you'll never give. You want to have that realization to give. And you can give to anything that suits your fancy. If it's a charity, if it's church, maybe someone moved you. You saw something on live and somebody needed a donation for something. You're like, I'm donating to that. Do it. But know that you have your $5 or whatever it is, even 10% if that's your deal. If you got that kind of cash to do that at this moment in time, do it. As you get out of debt, you'll make that larger, right? But for right now, just take a few dollars and give to someone else and something else. Because this whole time we've been taking before we even made money. And so this is the time to give. The second set of things on your budget is what we call the 4 walls. It's 5 things, but it's 4 walls. So number one, make sure you eat. If you get a paycheck coming in, make sure you are budgeting money so you can eat. Okay? You don't need to be starving because a collector called you. Make sure you eat. Number 2, you should be paying for utilities. Okay? So you want to make sure you're paying for the utilities in your home and things of that nature. So you have a heated place, and a place where you have water and all the things there. So you want to make sure your utilities are taken care of and your phone. Okay. Number 3, you need to make sure your rent or your mortgage is paid for. Yes, guys, this is not sexy for a Wednesday evening, but Wednesday money we're talking about right now. So number 3, you want to make sure that your rent or mortgage is taken care of, right? The worst thing to be in is not to have a place to stay, not to have food in your belly, and not to have, a warm place to stay, while you're trying to get out of debt. Number 4 is transportation. Your gas, your car insurance, whatever you need, fixing your car when it needs to be fixed. That's extremely important. These are the 4 things. And then the 5th thing is clothing. You want to make sure you have clothing on your body, but most of us have clothing. We've got tags of clothes in our, in our closet because we're just spending. So, and some of us are, maybe it's legit spending. Maybe you've gone through some really hard times. Okay. So I totally get it, but we probably most likely have clothes. But if you don't have clothes, you want to make sure you have clothes. So number 1, pay your mortgage or rent. Number 2, pay your utilities. Number 3, pay for your car and transportation. Number 4, have some food in your belly. And number 5, make sure you're fully clothed, right? You've got clothing that's appropriate to wear on a daily basis in any weather. Okay, so that's your those are the top things you want to do for your budget. Now let's get to number 3, your debt. Now, the debt snowball is a great plan and you should totally do that. And most people, what I like to choose is listing all your debts from smallest to largest, doing minimum payments on all of them, and then anything extra puts on the smallest debt until that debt's paid out, and then you roll that money onto the next smallest debt. But some of us have more emergency debts than the credit cards or the unsecured debts. Some of us have taxes to pay. Some of us have pay loans. And what else? Oh, some of us have, like, we're about to go into foreclosure. Those top 3 things need to be the first things you pay, right? You need to have a place to stay, right? You cannot go through this. I mean, you can, but going through this financial getting out of debt thing and you don't have a place to stay or food in your belly and stuff like that is hard. So that's the first thing. You need to find a way to pay your mortgage and get that all on time. Mortgage or even rent, right? If you're about to be evicted, let's try to get some money to them, right? Another thing is taxes. Taxes are super important to get paid, people, because they will withdraw that money out of your account, out of your paycheck, and you'll have no paycheck. And we need that paycheck, right? And number 3, payday loans. Ooh, baby. Those are the first 3 things. Payday loans have extreme interest. So this is what I'm going to tell you about payday loans. First of all, they come out at every paycheck. So it's not once a month, not like a regular installment loan. It's every paycheck. And let's say you get $500 out. They'll ask you to pay $150 every paycheck. So let's just say you get 2 paychecks that month. You'll pay $300 down for that $500 loan and only pay $100 on that loan. And the rest goes to interest. $200 went to interest, went into their pocket. So pay the payday loans down. That's the only interest one thing that I would recommend paying down first, because I'm not really into, largest to smallest interest debts, because it's usually about the same. But when it comes to payday loans, whoo, talk about freedom in your checks. If you can get rid of those payday loans out of your life, then you've got more money to put on your debt. And then obviously the debt snowball, smallest to largest, after you've gotten those 3 things taken care of. And let's just say you're going through your budget and you got your giving, you've got your 4 walls, and if let's say you got your mortgage or payday loans or what have you, and those things are set there, and you've got $300 left, and you've got literally $700 worth of minimum payments on credit cards due. What do you do then? You're like, I'm $500 short. What you do is take those $200 and divide it by how many credit cards you have. Let's just say it's 700. So let's say you have 7 credit cards. Okay? And you have $200. Oh goodness, I gotta do the math. But anyways, let's just say that's like $25 or $50 a credit card for you to put on. You'll divide the 200 by the 7 and then put that on each of those payments, so they're getting something. No, it's not everything. Yes, they'll be calling you, but at least you are feeding the beast. You could probably do that for a good 6 months before they start to want to put you in collections, okay? During that time, when you're trying to get these things paid out, have an extra job. If you've got a business that you're barely doing now, get on that business and start working it so you can start making extra money each month, and eventually things will start to balance out. Make sure you find a way to get extra money in. Stop getting any more loans so that you don't have to pay more money out. And this is a great place to start to get out of debt. There's so much more for you to know. So if you want a PDF of 3 extra tips to get out of debt, just let us know. I will give that to you for free. And comment below if you thought this was very helpful. Comment below what you thought was helpful about this video. What specific thing? All right. I love you guys. Take care of yourselves and happy Wednesday evening. Bye.